Hello guys, welcome to JHook, and in today's session we are going to talk about Terraform, and these are the topics which I have planned for today's session, starting from what is Terraform, then what are Terraform commands, that is Terraform init, Terraform plan, Terraform apply, and the third we are going to create our first Terraform file, and the fourth one is how we are going to install Terraform on our system. After that we have a couple of demo. The first demo is setting up virtual machine on actual Google Cloud platform using Terraform, and the second demo is setting up an EC2 instance on AWS and the same using Terraform. This is going to be a long session, so if you want to skip some of the topics, then that is also fine. I'll put the timestamp of each topic into the description section, so just click on those timestamp to follow those individual sessions. And if you are a beginner and you want to learn Terraform, then I would recommend to follow this complete session, because this is going to be a very basic session where we will be starting everything from the scratch. What is Terraform? Terraform is used to provision and set up your infrastructure on a cloud platform. The next question comes, what is provisioning and setting up of your infrastructure? Suppose you have a Google Cloud Platform account or AWS account, and that's the only thing you have. So you need to set up your servers or the virtual machine so that you can deploy your application. So Terraform will help you to create those infrastructure using Terraform file. So you don't have to manually go into Google Cloud or AWS console and manually create those virtual machines and install your software packages. Once you know Terraform, then you are going to create a multiple Terraform file, which will help you to set up your complete infrastructure from the zero. Then what is Terraform file? This is the example of a very simple Terraform file where you will have two components. One is provider and second one is resource. And always remember, the Terraform file always have an extension of .tf. So if you look carefully over here inside the file, we have specified provider as Google. So if you specify provider as Google, then you are definitely going to interact with a Google Cloud platform. And in case if you are going to mention here AWS, then you are going to interact with the AWS cloud services. The second component which I have mentioned over here is the resource. So resource varies from Google Cloud platforms to AWS, because if you are provisioning a virtual machine on a Google Cloud platform, then we are going to call that resource as a Google Compute instance, as you can see in this Terraform file. This Terraform file is a sample Terraform file for a Google Cloud platform. But in case if you are working on a AWS, so instead of a Google Compute instance, you are going to mention EC2 instance. This is just a little idea how to create your Terraform file and how you are going to interact with a cloud service provider. But the Terraform file is not self-sufficient enough to interact with a cloud service provider. You need to know some Terraform commands. Then what are those commands are? The first command is Terraform init, which is going to prepare your local environment for setting up your cloud infrastructure. Second, Terraform plan. It is going to tell you like how many resources you are going to add, update, or delete. The third command is Terraform apply. This command is actually going to run your virtual instances on a Google Cloud platform or AWS. And the final command is Terraform destroy. So this command is something which is going to destroy or delete all the instances or the resources which you have created using previous Terraform apply command. Don't worry, we are going to cover all these commands in more detail into the next slides. Starting with our first command, that is Terraform init. Suppose you have a directory Terraform demo on your local system or a desktop, and inside that directory you have a file that is main.terraform. And this is the code snippet where we have specified the provider and the resource. Don't worry, we are going to look the complete actual Terraform file into the later session. But this is just an example where we have specified the provider, that is Google, and the resource, that is Google Compute instance. Now, after that, once you run the first command, that is Terraform init command, then it is going to contact the cloud service provider and it is going to download all the required dependency onto your local system. So what does it mean? So once you run this command, then you will see the same directory, you will get a directory called .terraform. So in that directory, it is going to download the required packages which is needed for interacting with your cloud service provider. Since this example is for Google Cloud Platform, so it has downloaded Terraform provider Google version 3.61. So here you can see this is the .terraform file which is just got created once you issue the Terraform init command. So if you summarize what is Terraform init command is, then it is just preparing your local environment by downloading all the required dependencies based on the provider which you specify. Since we have specified the provider as a Google, so it has downloaded all the required dependencies for Google Cloud Platform. And in case if I have specified over here AWS, then it is going to download all the required dependencies which is needed for communicating with the AWS environment. So this is how the Terraform init works. All right, the next command which we are going to look is Terraform plan. So again, we are going to take the same example. We have created a Terraform directory, and this is our main.terraform file where we have specified the provider as Google and the resource as a Google Compute instance. And after that, we are going to run the Terraform plan command. Once you run the Terraform plan command, then you will see following message at the end of your terminal. And this message is going to tell how many resources you have added, how many resources you have changed or updated, and how many resources you have destroyed. This command is still not responsible for creating any resource on a Google Cloud Platform or AWS platform. It is just going to inform you like what is going to happen or what is going to change or what is going to destroy. So here our main .terraform, if you look it again, then we are trying to add a resource that is Google Compute instance. That's why we have got a message one to add. That means we are going to add one new resource to the Google Cloud Platform. To summarize the good Terraform plant command, then it is just going to inform you what is going to add, what is going to update, and what is going to destroy on a Google Cloud Platform or AWS platform. It is not going to update or change anything on actual cloud platform. It is just going to inform you. That's why the name is plan. Moving to the next command is Terraform apply, and I'm just going to tell you this is where everything will happen or the actual thing will happen. So again, I'm taking the same example. I have created a directory Terraform demo. Inside the Terraform demo, I have a main.terraform file. And again, there is a provider, there is a resource for Google Cloud Platform. And I'm going to run the command Terraform apply. And once you run the command, if you are running this command for a Google, since this example we have taken it for Google Cloud Platform, then it is going to start an instance that is a virtual machine on a Google Cloud Platform. And suppose if you have taken the same example or we have updated the same main.terraform file for AWS, then we are going to get an EC2 instance on AWS platform. Don't worry, we have a separate complete lab session for AWS and Google Cloud Platform where we are going to create the complete Terraform file and we are going to spin those virtual machine and EC2 instances on those cloud platform. Now you have got an idea like how the Terraform command works and what are the sequence of running those Terraform command. Now in this slide we are gonna see our complete Terraform file. This is an actual code of our main.terraform file. This code sample or this complete main.terraform file, I have taken it for Google Cloud Platform, but this file structure or the components which I'm going to explain is going to be pretty much same for AWS instance also. Okay, let's start with the first component. So the first component is provider. Since we are talking about Google Cloud Platforms, that's why I have mentioned the provider name over here is Google. Second, if you are going to interact with a Google Cloud Platform or AWS, then you need to have some kind of authentication. So you need to create this JSON key, that is your authentication key on a Google Cloud Platform first, and then you need to download that JSON key onto your local system, and you need to pass that that JSON key to this Terraform file. The third component which we are talking about here is the project ID. So if you go to Google Cloud Platform, then you need to select project over here. So here I have already created a project called GCP Terraform, and this is the project ID for it. So we need to copy this project ID and paste it over here inside our main.terraform file so that this Terraform knows like in which project we are going to create those resources. Moving further, the fourth component we are talking about here is the region and the zone. This settings is pretty much dependent on in which part of the world you are. So I am currently in the Europe zone, so that's why I have selected the Europe West region. But if you are in some other part of the world, then select the nearest zone to you. Now we are done with our provider section. The next section we are talking about Google Compute Instance. So the Google Compute Instance is a resource. That means we are going to provision a virtual machine on a Google Cloud Platform. That's why we have specified the resource name as a Google Compute Instance. But in case if you are working on an AWS, then you need to specify the name as AWS underscore instance. Okay. The second keyword over here, I have kept it as a default. So this default is a user defined name actually, and you can keep any name of your choice. All right, then there is a next component. Sorry, I have pasted it, I have clicked it, but the next component over here is the name. That is tag. That is also a user defined name. So any resource which you are trying to create, you can put a suitable name over there. All right, now moving to the sixth component, that is machine type. What is machine type? So machine type is something like a CPU. So what kind of a CPU or what kind of a powerful CPU you need? Since this is an example or demo, that's why I have kept actually a very small CPU, that is a micro CPU. But in case if you're looking for a production environment, then just go for some bigger machine type. That is E2 small, medium, but still E2 small and medium are just only for development and demo purpose. Just look out for documentation and pick some suitable CPU if you're looking for a production environment. The next component which we are talking about is the operating system. Since we are starting or we are setting up a virtual machine, it needs to have an operating system. So what kind of operating system you want to install in it? So this is the tag boot disk and initialize params. Here we are going to specify our Debian Cloud or Debian 9 system. So we want to have a Debian operating system installed on our virtual machine. The next component which we are talking about is the network interface. And if you know, if you are working on a cloud environment, then you need to have an public IP, which so that you can access your virtual machine. So you need to define a network interface for that. So this is the code snippet which you need to keep inside your main.terraform file. And if you don't want to control the IP address, then you just define that network as default. And Google Cloud Platform is going to assign a public IP address for your virtual machine. In the previous slide, we have seen the complete Terraform file for a Google Cloud Platform. So now in this slide, we are going to compare the two Terraform file, one for Google Cloud Platform and one for AWS. So here on the left hand side, these are the code snippet from a Google Cloud Terraform file. So which is I'm not going to explain because we have seen in the previous slide. But on the right hand side, we are pretty much interested in AWS. So as I told you, we need to specify the provider. So here we are going to specify the provider as AWS. Then again, we are going to specify the region based on your location in the world. Second, this access key and secret key. This part is little different. Here in Google, we need to download that JSON file which combines of your authentication. But here we need to specify the access key along with the secret key. So that you will get from a AWS console. Don't worry, we have a demo. So I'm going to show you like where to copy the access key and the secret key. The next, we need to specify the resource. So in Google Cloud example, we have seen the resource name as Google Compute Instance, but here we need to specify that instance name as AWS instance because we are going to provision this instance on AWS environment. Then you need to give some suitable name. So I have given the name as EC2 example. The next component inside the resource is AMI. So you need to find the AMI ID from your Amazon console or AWS console actually. I'll show that ID, but to give you a hint, what is AMI? AMI is a machine ID because in Google Cloud Platform, you need to specify operating system like a Debian 10, but here you need to choose the predefined images. So Amazon provides you a list of images. In that list, you can find one for Ubuntu, Red Hat, CentOS, or Fedora. So you can choose any of the machine ID out of that list and put that ID over here so that it can provision those machines for you. The second is instance type here, and that again denotes the CPU power. So if you're looking for a demo purpose, then you can choose T2 micro or something similar. And if you're looking for production grade CPUs, then just look for the documentation and choose some very high processing power CPUs. Okay, moving further, now we have sufficient knowledge about Terraform and what are the Terraform commands. So the next task we have for us is like we need to install Terraform on our local system. So I have prepared this guide where I have put all the instructions and the commands which is needed for installing Terraform. So I'll put the link of this guide into the description section, so you don't need to copy of any of the command. Just come back and check this guide and copy all the commands for installing Terraform onto your local system. So here on the right hand side, you can see this is my guide, and I'm going to click on install Terraform on Ubuntu. So first utility which you need is you need to install the unzip utility on your system because we are going to download the installer of a Terraform in a zip file. So you need to have that unzip utility if you are working on a Linux operating system. So I'm assuming that you have installed the unzip utility because I have already installed on my system. So I'm not gonna perform that step again. The second step is we need to go to terraform.io. Click on the download CLI, and below there you should choose the installer based on your operating system. So since I'm using Ubuntu, so I'm gonna use Linux. So I'm just gonna select 64-bit, right click on here, copy the link, head back to your terminal on the left hand side, and I'm gonna download this zip file using wget command, paste the URL, and here you can see the Terraform zip has been downloaded on my Ubuntu system. Now we need to unzip the file. So the command is unzip Terraform, and the unzip has been completed, and we can see the file Terraform which has been extracted. Now we need to go back to our guide for the next instruction. So now we have copied the link, we have downloaded the zip file. Now we need to move this file inside user local bin. So for that, what we need to do is we need to use the command sudo move the Terraform file into the user local bin. And for that, you need to have the sudo permission. Otherwise, you won't be able to move this file inside the user local bin directory. So I'm just going to copy this command and paste it over here. So here you can see my file has been moved, and you can verify using user local bin command, and here you can see the Terraform has been moved to the user local bin directory. And now we can verify the installation by running the command terraform-v, and here you can see we have installed the Terraform version 0.14.8. Alright, demo time. So the first demo which we are going to perform, we are going to set up a virtual machine on a Google Cloud platform using Terraform. If you are interested in AWS, then you can skip this demo part and directly jump to the AWS demo. But if you are interested in setting it up on a Google Cloud platform, then you can follow this session also. Okay, so I think we have sufficient knowledge which is required to provision a virtual machine on a Google Cloud platform using Terraform. So we are going to use all those concepts which I have explained earlier, and we are going to implement all those concepts in this demo. Also, I have prepared a guide where I have put all the instruction which is required for this demo. So during the demo, if you forget to note any of the commands or any of the bash script which I'm going to run, so you can come back and check this guide. I'll put the link of this guide into the description section, so you don't have to copy or make a note of any of the instruction which I'm going to perform during the demo. So you just come back to this guide and copy, and feel free to copy any of the commands. To start the demo, the step number one is we need to create a project on a Google Cloud platform. So here you can see on the left hand side, this is my Google Cloud platform account where we are going to create our first project. But before that, you need to sign up if you haven't done before. So just go ahead and create a Google Cloud platform account, and they offer you a 1 year free trial where you can experiment on a Google Cloud platform. So I'm assuming that you have an active account on a Google Cloud platform. Okay, so how to create a project? That's our first task. So here you can see on the left hand side, this is my Google Cloud Platform console. And here in the left side of this Google Cloud console, you can see there are some projects which I have already created. But if you haven't created any of your project, then just click on this new project and you should be able to create your new project. But anyway, that you can do it. It's a very simple step. But here I have already created a project with the name GCP Terraform. So that's going to be your first step, which we need to perform in this demo. Moving to the step number second, here you can see in the left hand side, I have already selected my project, that is GCP Terraform. The step number second is where you need to create a service account for your project. And this service account we are later gonna use for authorization. Okay, so in the left navigation menu, click here and you need to go to I am an admin section, and inside that I am an admin section you need to click for service accounts. So here you just click on service account, and here you can see I have created some service account earlier, but you can create a new service account for this demo. Click here to create your first service account. And here you can mention your service account name. So I'm just gonna put demo service account and then just click on create. And here on the right hand side, you can follow the same instruction over here also. Okay, so the step number third, where you need to assign some roles. So the first role which we are going to assign the project owner role. So you need to select the project. So just drill down into this drop down menu and look for the project here. And here you need to select the role as owner. Okay, there is a one more role, that is compute admin role, that you need to assign. So click on add another role. And then you need to again drill down and you need to check for compute section, compute option over here. And it should be somewhere. Yeah, this is compute engine. And here you need to select for compute admin role. So that's the compute admin role which I'm gonna select. And here you can check in the guide also. This is the screenshot which I have taken from the same console. Okay, after assigning the compute admin role, we need to assign one more role, that is compute network admin. So click on add another role. And again, just go for compute option. I think I just saw somewhere here. Yeah, there, here it is. And we need to go for compute network admin. Just select that one also. Okay, so that's three roles which you're gonna need for this demo. And after that, just click continue. And then just click done. Once you're done creating your service account, then you can see over here, this is the service account which we have created, that is demo service account. And here, if you look carefully, there is a key ID column. So there is no key associated with this account. So the next step is we are going to generate the keys for this account. And that is going to be our step number 4. So here you can see on the screenshot, we need to click on these three dots over here for the account which we have created. So here the account which we have created is demo service. So just click on this option and then you need to look for manage key option. Just follow along with this guide. All the instructions are there. So, and after that you need to look for this add key drop down. So that is over here. And here we need to click on create new key. So once you click on create new key, then it will pop an option for JSON or P12. So we need to create a JSON file. And if you go back to our slide, which I have shown you, I think it's over here. So if you go back to our slide, then here you can see we need to download a JSON file. So this is the same JSON file I'm talking about. Okay, sorry, it is over here. So this is the same JSON file which we are going to download. So just click create. And you just need to save this file somewhere onto your system. So I'm just click OK. And here you can see I have just downloaded the JSON file, and this JSON file will be useful for you to authorize your Terraform to communicate with your Google Cloud platform. Okay, moving further, now we have completed the step number 4. We have now downloaded the JSON file that will be used later during the authorization process. But the step number 5 is we need to create a main.tf, that is our Terraform file, which I have already explained. But we are just gonna create this file from the scratch. So what we need to do, first of all, switch back to our terminal. And this is where I have already installed the Terraform, and that you can verify using this command. Okay, so we are running the Terraform version 0.14.18, sorry, 8. So I'm just gonna create one directory over here, mkdir Terraform GCP demo, and just switch to that directory. I'm just gonna clear the screen, and I'm just gonna first of all create a file, that is main.tf. Yep, I'm gonna open this file into VI mode. Okay, so this file is empty and we are just gonna first copy a provider code. Okay, so just copy this code snippet. I'm just gonna explain what this is all about. So here you can see the provider is Google. Although we have downloaded the key file, but we haven't renamed that file to be like a JSON account GCP account.json. So I'll do that part later. Secondly, we need to mention the project ID, that is GCP Terraform. So if you go back to your Google Cloud Console over here, and if you click over here, then this is your project, that is GCP Terraform, and this is your Google Cloud project ID, that is GCP Terraform 307199. So you need to copy this project ID into your Terraform file. So that is going to be your project. Okay, so we just only left with this GCP account.json that we need to specify, or we need to create, or we need to copy the JSON file into this my virtual machine which I'm running over here. Okay, and this is my region, which can be anything. It can be Asia or US based on your location, and the zone also. Okay, so this is our first provider code which we are gonna put inside our main Terraform file. So I'm just gonna save and quit. Moving to the next step, we need to copy the code snippet for the Google Compute instance, because that's the actual virtual machine which we are gonna run, and that is going to be the E2 micro machine. Okay, so again we are gonna update the main .tf file which we have inserted just the provider code there. So we are just now gonna insert the Google Compute code snippet inside that main.terraform file. So first of all, just copy this code snippet and again open that file into the VI mode. And here you can see we already have the provider code. So I'm just gonna go into the edit mode, and I'm just gonna paste the compute instance code also. So here, this is our Google Compute instance. That's the keyword which wanna keep, and this is the name. I have kept it as a default, but you can keep any name of your choice. That's absolutely fine. And here, this is going to be the tag, or again the name. So it is absolutely okay to keep any name of your choice, but be careful about the machine type. You need to specify the exact name, what kind of a machine you want. So I'm keeping it as a E2 micro. I just want the lowest CPU as possible, or the lowest configuration CPU as possible. Third thing, the boot disk, I'm using Debian 9 Ubuntu machine. And the fourth thing is we need to specify the network interface, and I just created this configuration over here, and I kept the network to default, so I'll get so that I can get some public IP for my virtual machine. Okay, so I think we are done with this main.terraform file, and that is sufficient enough to start your virtual machine inside your Google Cloud platform. The only thing which we are left is with this JSON. We haven't created this JSON file yet. Although we have downloaded the JSON file after creating the service account, but we haven't copied that file into this same directory so that it can be used. Okay, so first of all, I'm just gonna quit here and save this configuration or the main.tf file. I'll clear the screen, and just to re-verify whether our content has been saved, I'm just gonna run the cat command, and here we can see everything has been saved properly. Okay, so I'll clear the screen and I'll do the ls command one more time, and here you can see we only have the main.tf file over here. We don't have the gcp account.json file that we need to create it. Okay, so first of all, once again do the cat. I just want to copy the same name, so I'll just copy it. I'll clear the name screen. I'm just gonna run the command touch and this, so it's gonna create that file, and now you can see we have the JSON account, GCP account.json file over here. And if you want to view the content of it, then it will be empty, and here you can see this is completely empty. So first of all, I'm just gonna copy the content of the key file which we have downloaded after creating the service account. So that is I'm gonna do. Let's head back to browser and see where we have downloaded our JSON file after creating the service account. So this is the file which we have downloaded. So I'm just going to open that file, So this is the file, and I'm just going to open in one of my editor. So this is the content of my JSON file, or the key file which we are going to use for authentication. So I'm just going to copy the content of this file. I'm just going to head back to my terminal, and I'm just going to open the JSON file which we have created, that is gcp account.json, and which is empty right now. So I'm going to open in edit mode, and I'm going to paste the content over here. And after that, just save and quit. Okay, so now we have placed our GCP account.json file just parallel to our main.terraform file. So we have everything in place now. So if you move further into the guide, and there is a step number 6 where we are going to perform these commands. The first command is terraform init, terraform plan, and the third one is terraform apply. So we are just going to look all these commands one by one. So the first command is terraform init command. Okay, so just copy this command, clear the screen over here, and just run this command. I'm just going to explain what this terraform init command is doing. So if you remember, if you see our code snippet in the main.terraform file, here is the provider, that is Google. So whenever you mention a provider over here in the main.terraform file, and when the first time you're gonna run the terraform init command, it is going to download all the dependencies for the provider, that is Google. So here, this is the line in which it is going to download all the dependency which is required to communicate with our Google Cloud platform. So in the terraform init command, these are the prerequisite step which is done by the Terraform. So this is a mandatory step whenever you're going to work with a Terraform module. So you need to run the Terraform init command so that you can download all the required dependency which you have mentioned in your provider or in your main.terraform file. So here the provider name was Google. So if in case the provider name was AWS or Azure, then it is going to download that dependency when you issue the Terraform init command. Now you might be wondering, there are lots of things which are happening behind the scene when I issued the Terraform init command. So don't worry, we are just gonna see what it has done in the background. So if you run the command lslart, so you will see a directory which is created as a .terraform. So this is the directory which gets created once you issue the Terraform init command. So in that directory you will find all the required dependencies which is downloaded when you issued the Terraform init command. So to view the content, just run the command ls and then inside the directory Terraform, and there will be some more directory, that is provider, HashiCorp, and here you can see Google, and there will be version and that Linux AMD 64 machine, and this is going to be your final, I think, file or the dependency, that is Terraform provider Google 3.60, that's the version. So as I told you, whenever you issue this command, so it is going to download all the dependencies which you mentioned into the main.terraform file. So we have mentioned Google, so it has downloaded the whatever latest dependency of Google provider which was available during the demo. So it has downloaded that dependency into your local machine. So here you can verify those dependencies. Okay, moving further into the guide, we have completed the Terraform init command. And here you can see this is the console log which I have pasted here in the guide. So in case if you forget or if you want to verify your output, then you can just cross check with it. Okay, so as you can see, we have completed the Terraform init command. The next command is Terraform plan. Okay, so what is Terraform plan command? So Terraform plan command tells you like how many resources either you're going to add, either you're going to update, or either you're going to destroy or delete. So it is just going to tell you what will be the plan. Are you adding it? Are you deleting it? Or are you destroying it? So that is the main intention behind the Terraform plan command. So I'll clear the screen and I'm just gonna run the command Terraform plan. Okay, so the output will be a little bit big on your console and it will be a little overwhelming, but don't worry, we are just gonna go through the complete output. So this was the command which I have run, that is Terraform plan. And as you know, if you see our code snippet, then we are trying to create a virtual machine, a virtual compute instance. So this is the compute instance which we are trying to create. So here you can see it first highlighted what we are going to do. So we are going to create a resource. So that's the first thing it is going to mention you when you run the Terraform plant command. So you are going to create a resource. So that's correct. Yeah, we are going to create a resource. And what kind of resource it is? So that is a Google Compute instance. So that's the resource which we are going to create. And if you look carefully at the bottom of this, so the plan is one to add. That means you are trying to add one resource. That's a new resource actually. So that's the thing which you need to notice over here. The second is zero to change. So are you going to update or change any of our existing resource? Then it's zero, because no, we are not going to update or change any of our existing resource. The third is zero to destroy. That means we are not going to delete or destroy any of our existing resource. So our main intention is we just want to create our virtual machine inside our Google Cloud platform. So that means we are going to add a resource, that is virtual machine. So this is the this is the Terraform plan command. One thing which you should remember, this Terraform plan command never create a resource. It just tells you what it is going to do. Okay, so here you can see we are just trying to add one resource and nothing else. So this command will never going to provision or run any of our virtual machine on our Google Cloud platform. Before we move further and issue our next command, that is going to be Terraform apply, I just wanted to show you my Google Cloud console so that I can show you that I am not running any of my virtual machines already. So here you can see this is my Google Cloud platform and these are the resources. The resources list is completely empty, and you can also verify from here from the left navigation menu, going to compute engine and going to VM instances. And here you can see the list is completely empty and I am not running any of the virtual machine already. So the next command is we are going to run the Terraform apply command. So that is going to be our next command where it is going to communicate with our Google Cloud platform and it is going to actually start a virtual machine on our Google Cloud platform. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this command, and on the left hand side on the terminal, first of all I'll clear the screen, and after that I'm just gonna paste the command. And it will ask enter a value. So are you going to provision this virtual machine? So I just gonna say yes. Okay, so here you can see if you read the logs carefully, it is first of all it says that it is creating, and it took some time to create those machine, and after that apply complete and one resource added. So that means our virtual machine has started in our Google Cloud platform. So just go back to our same Google Cloud VM instance screen and just refresh this page. And here you can see this is the test instance which we have started. And as you know, we have mentioned the zone Europe West 4. So that's our zone and the name is test. So if you go back into our code snippet of our main.terraform file, then you will find the test we have mentioned. So that's the test name which we have mentioned. Okay, so that's our virtual machine name which we have provisioned using Terraform. And one more thing, you can see the external IP which we have got. So this is the external IP which is returned by Google Cloud Platform, and you can use this external IP to SSH into this virtual machine. Okay, so this is how you provision a virtual machine inside Google Cloud Platform using Terraform. So now we have seen Terraform init, Terraform plan, and Terraform apply command. So these are the most three basic command which you need to know to work with Terraform and any other cloud service provider. Okay, so we have done the verify steps also, so that you can check it by yourself by going back to your Google Cloud console and that you can verify. The next command is Terraform destroy, and that is going to be the last command for this demo. And this is, it says destroy, so it is going to delete everything. So here you can see our test instance is running, and now we just wanted to destroy this instance. So just copy this command from here, go back to terminal, clear the screen, and paste the command. So as the command says destroy, it is going to remove, and here you can see now there is 0 to add. Yeah, we are not adding it, we are not updating it, but yeah, we are trying to destroy it. So that's the command. Just type yes, and it's gonna take some time, and it's going to delete our virtual machine instance. Okay, so here it has destroyed our resource, and we can go back to Google Cloud Console and just refresh this screen to see if whether it has deleted or not. And here you can see the test instance or the virtual machine has been deleted. Alright, so now we are done with our first demo, that is provisioning a virtual machine on a Google Cloud platform using Terraform. And now we have pretty much seen the Terraform init, Terraform plant, Terraform apply, and Terraform destroy commands. Moving to the second part of the demo, where we are going to provision a EC2 instance on AWS console. So again, I have prepared this guide for AWS also, and you can find this link of this guide into the description section of this video. To start the demo, first of all, the main requirement for this is you need to set up your AWS account. That is going to be our first step. So I would recommend you to create an account with AWS, and AWS offers you a 12 months free trial or 750 hours per month limit free trial, which you can use for this kind of a demo. But you need to provide some credit card information, so that's absolutely okay. That will charge you $1 for authorization, but after that it won't charge you for anything. So I'm assuming that you have an AWS account and you have already signed up for that. Moving further, after you have signed up for AWS, you need to log in, and you need to log in as a root user. So that is going to be your second step. So I'm just going back to my AWS account, and here I need to input my email ID and password. So I'll be back after entering my username and password. And also remember, you need to log in as a root user. Once you log in into your AWS console, then this is the dashboard which you're gonna see. Okay, moving along the guide, the next step is where we need to generate the access keys. So as I told you, like whenever we are working with the AWS, so you need to have your access key as well as the secret access key, so that Terraform can authorize itself to communicate with AWS. So for that, what you need to do is you need to go on My Security Credentials, and that you can do it by clicking on your username over here, going to My Security Credentials, and then go for access keys over here. And here you can see I have already generated my access key. But if you are doing it for the first time, then you need to click on this create new access key. And once you click on it, so it is going to show you the access key ID as well as the secret key. Here I have hidden it because that's some confidential information which I don't want to share, but you get the idea. Like you need to generate this access key and the secret access key here. But always remember, this secret access key will be visible only once for security reasons by AWS. And once you close this, then you won't be able to use or view this secret access key actually. So you need to copy both access key as well as the secret key. So I'm assuming that you have copied both the information, and after that you can just click on close. And here you can see as I have already created one on 18th of March, but here I can see there is a one more access ID key which has been generated on 23rd of March, the day when I'm recording this video. Okay, and both are in active state. So that's the thing which you need to notice over here. So moving back to the guide, same instructions I have mentioned over here with the instructions and the screenshot. And here you can see you need to copy the access key ID and the secret access key. The step number third is where we need to create a main.terraform file, as similar to the previous demo where we have seen for Google Cloud Platform, also where we have created the main.tf file. So this is on the left hand side, you can see my terminal, and I'm just gonna create a directory AWS demo. I'm just gonna switch to directory AWS demo. I'll clear the screen. I'm just gonna create the file main.tf, and I'm just gonna open in VI mode, and this file is empty, so we don't have anything over here. Okay, so the step number one over here is we need to mention our provider details in for AWS. So the syntax for that is resource, provider type, and the name. Name is not optional, but it's a user defined, or you can skip it also. That's also fine. Okay, so here is the actual example where I have mentioned like what is provider, what is AWS, and region, access key, and secret key. Here you can see this is XXX because I don't want to put my actual secret key or access key over here. I'll copy this code snippet from here and I'm just gonna paste it inside my main.terraform file which I have just created. And I'm just gonna replace this access key because I don't with the actual values which I have created inside my AWS console. Okay, so now I have copied my access key and secret key. As I told you, I cannot show those secret key and access key because of security reason. But after copying and pasting your access key and security key, you just save and quit it. Okay, so after that, moving further into the step number second, where we need to create our AWS instance. And for that, we need to find the Amazon machine image, and that you can find by using AWS console. So go back to your AWS console, click on services, go to EC2, and in the left navigation, you should see an option AMIs. Click on AMIs. Here in the drop-down drop-down option, always remember to select public images. And here you need to type the option Ubuntu because I'm just gonna use the Ubuntu as my operating system for virtual machine. Click enter. And here you can see this is the AMI which we are looking for. So once you click on this line number, then you can just copy this AMI ID from here. Copy to I'm just gonna copy it. Okay, and then copy this value and store it somewhere because we are gonna need it later. Okay, moving back to the guide, all the instructions I have mentioned for how to find the AMIs over here also. The next instruction is we need to mention the AWS instance. So that's the next code snippet which we are gonna put it over here. So copy this code snippet where we are going to create our AWS instance, and this is the name, that is we are keeping EC2 example. So it is a user defined name. You can keep it any name of your choice. Secondly, we have copied the AMI ID. So you need to copy and paste that AMI ID over here. And third thing, you need to mention the instance time. Since it is a demo purpose, so I'm keeping it as a t2.micro. But you can increase this instance type based on your requirement and choose some higher configuration also. And this tag name is completely up to you what kind of a tag name you're gonna put. So I'm just gonna put Terraform EC2. Okay, so that's the code snippet which I'm gonna copy from here and paste it inside my main.tf. But I'm also gonna update the AMI also. Okay, so copy it and go to your terminal on the left hand side and yeah, open in VI mode, go into edit mode and paste the content over here. So the thing which we need to replace it over here is the AMI ID. So I'm just gonna remove the existing one and I'm just gonna paste the new one which we have copied from the AWS console. So I'm just gonna paste it over here. So now save and quit. Okay, and you can re-verify whether you have saved correctly or not by using the cat command, and here you can see everything, the provider name and the AWS instance. All right, moving to the next step. Now we are ready with our Terraform file and now we can run our Terraform command. So the first command which we are going to run is the Terraform init command. So what does the Terraform init command do? So first of all, just copy this command and I'm going to explain like what it actually does. So just run this command first of all. Okay, here you can see our command has run successfully. So the Terraform init command is responsible for downloading all the dependency which you mentioned for the provider. So the provider over here is AWS. So if you'll see our code snippet, so that's the provider we have mentioned, that is AWS. So whenever you're going to run a Terraform init command, so it is going to first of all look which is your provider. So that is your AWS, and it is going to find the latest version, whatever available. So at that point of recording this video, the latest version was 3.33, and it is going to download all those dependencies onto your local system. Okay, and you can verify this dependency by running the command lslart, and you should have a .terraform file, folder which is created after running this terraform init command. Okay, and as you remember, we have only created the main.terraform file. Okay, and these files has been created after we run the terraform init command. Okay, so and you can also view the content here also by running the ls command, and here you can see. So these are the content of our terraform directory. And here you can see there is an image Linux AMD 64, which means that's the virtual machine or EC2 instance image, which is Terraform has just downloaded by using this provider information which we have mentioned. So if you go back to our guide, so this is the provider information, that is AWS. Once we mention this thing, then Terraform init command going to download all the required dependencies for AWS. Alright, so now we have run the Terraform init command. The next command come is we need to run the Terraform plan command. So I'll clear the screen over here, and I'm just gonna run first of all the command Terraform plan. Sorry, I just did the typo over here. I'll just clear the screen once more, and I'm just run Terraform plan command. All right, so the output of this command is a little bit big, but don't worry, we are just gonna go through the output and try to understand it. Okay, so what the Terraform plan command does, it just tells you that what it is going to do once you actually run the Terraform apply command. So Terraform apply is the next step, but there is a final command Terraform apply, which is going to actually run your or install or provision your EC2 instance on AWS. But we are still one step behind, and we are focusing on Terraform plan command. So Terraform plan command tells you like what is going to happen in future, and the future is the next step. So it is going to create one resource. So that's why there is a green plus sign over here and with the option create. So that means once you run the Terraform apply command, then it will be going to create an resource. Okay, so if you look carefully, there are three options over here in the plan. That is one to add. That means one resource will be added, and that's correct. We just want to spin our EC2 instance. So we are trying to add a resource in our AWS environment. That's why it shows one to add. We are not updating anything, that's why it's 0, and we are not deleting anything, so that's also 0. So Terraform plan command tells you like what is going to happen once you run the Terraform apply command. So it will just sketch you the plan, like how many resources are going to be added, removed, or updated. Alright, so now we have seen the Terraform plan command. So the next command is the Terraform apply command. So this is the command which is actually going to start our EC2 instance by contacting the AWS server, and it is going to start our EC2 instance. Alright, so this is the command Terraform apply. So I'm just going to copy from here and paste it on my terminal and hit enter. It will ask like, do you want to perform this action? So just type yes and hit enter. Okay, so our Terraform apply command has finished successfully, and here you can see it has added one resource and the message is apply complete. So now we can go to AWS console and verify whether our instance has been created or not. So go back to your AWS console, go to services, go to EC2, and here you can see instances running, that is one, so which we have started recently. Just click on it. And here you can see the status is running. The name is Terraform EC2, and which you can verify by using our main.tf file. And here you can see the name is Terraform EC2, the same name which we have given over here. So you can see over here also, and it's running. And yeah, this is the our EC2 instance which we have just provisioned using Terraform, and you can verify the zone also, and this is our public IP address so that you can use it to access it. And yeah, so this is how we provision our EC2 instance using Terraform. Alright, so the next command which I would like to tell is to destroy. So now we have created this instance, so how we can destroy it. So the command is pretty much similar. The only thing which we are going to change is the last keyword, that is destroy, and hit enter. And it will again ask for confirmation, so just say yes and hit enter. Okay, so the destroy has been completed and it has destroyed or deleted our one resource. So on the right hand side, we can just refresh this console and see whether it has been deleted or not. And as you can see, the instance is gone. So we have no longer any EC2 instance running over here. Okay, so you can remove this filter also. So you can see we have previously terminated two instances, but none of any of the instances running right now. Alright, so with that, that was our last command, that is Terraform destroy, and that's the demo I just wanted to show you for AWS part also. I hope you liked the today's getting started with the Terraform session and also the demo on Google Cloud Platform as well as on AWS. And if you have any question related to the session, then please put down into the comment section. And also if you have any suggestion for similar lab session which you would like to have it on my channel, then also please put down into the comment section. Then I'll try to get back to you on those sessions as soon as possible. And please do follow my channel on YouTube, and you can find me with the name Rahul Wag or Jehuk, and where I keep posting the sessions on DevOps, on Kubernetes, Helm chart, Kubespray, and Terraform. And also you can find me on a web with the URL jhook.com, where you will find all the guide which I generally use into the demo session. So just feel free to browse those guides and copy those commands from there if you feel useful. So till then, thank you for your time and see you into the next session. Bye bye.